Hello everyone. Today I wanted to give you some steps for how I approach drawing the bow. You can take whatever approach works for you, but I want to at least give you an example of how you could start drawing on your own bow. So here you can see one that I have in progress, and I've practiced this a couple of times drawing the bow, but I'm going to go ahead and flip to a new sheet of paper. I'm just practicing in my sketchbook for now, but you can draw on whatever paper that you have at home. And so when I'm drawing the bow, the first thing I want to do is start with big shapes and then work to smaller details. And I want to make sure that I'm filling my page with the bow. So in order to think about the size of the whole thing, I am going to create a circle shape here. Give me an oval too, that's fine. And I do this several times until I get the shape that I want. You want to do that somewhat lightly because you're going to end up erasing those guidelines later. In the center, I'm going to do another one, as this is going to help me define how long I want each section of the bow. So it kind of looks like a donut for now. That's okay. We'll be erasing some of these lines later. Now I want to start making my loops of my bow, and what I noticed about them is that they are somewhat triangular in shape. So I'm going to go around this circle here, and I'm going to make 5 triangles. It's going to look a little bit like a star shape for now. And I want to make them, they don't all have to be the same width. Some can be wider, some can be narrower. And you might have to practice a little bit with getting your shapes the right way that you want them. When I'm sketching, I don't worry about erasing for now. I just draw lightly, and then I'll go back and fix whatever I want to keep and erase whatever I don't want to keep. Okay, so right now I have 5 triangular shapes, but I need to make these look more three-dimensional. And the way I'm going to do that is by turning these into cone shapes. So I'm going to come up here, and on each of these 5 triangular shapes, I'm going to round out the top and the bottom. I'll also darken my lines a little bit so I can see which lines I want to keep. So I'm just going to go around the circle and do this to each one. This one I'm going to let it overlap the other one a little bit. That's how the circle helps, because it keeps me knowing where I want these to end. This one I'm going to make really wide here. I want it wider than the other ones. So again, curve the top and curve the inside of it. You don't have to worry too much about being perfect, because we're going to layer some other ones on top of this. So I'll do 2 more of these. And so you'll see that these are starting to look like 3D loops of the bow. But a bow is not just one layer. So what I need to do is to start building up another layer of these loops. So I'm going to look in between each of these and add another one. Now I want these ones to come in a little bit closer to the middle, so I'm going to give myself another guideline. Again, being very light with that so you can erase these later. So I'm going to start out here. Here I'm going to do my second set of loops or triangles. And I'll make these 3D as I go. And then now that these are here, I gotta erase the ones that are underneath. Okay, so I'm gonna go around and do that on every one. Make some of them wider, some of them narrower. Again, if you're looking at a specific bow, you might want to look how the ones on there are laid out. The loops might be a little bit different sizes from each other. You might even see them at a different angle. Here I'm going to overlap some of them too. I got to remember to erase so I can see that this is on top and not underneath. Do a couple more. I'll do this one pretty big. I'm just building these up in different layers. That one is a little narrow, so I'm going to make it wider. And then again, erase what you don't want. Okay, I'm getting close to the center of the bow. I'm going to put just a couple of more of these triangular shaped loops. I'm going to erase this circle for now. I don't need it anymore. Sorry about my camera, it's a little bit shaky. And so I'm going to see where I can fit a couple more. I think I can fit another one here. That's not quite wide enough for what I want. Bring that out a little bit more. So now we're getting closer to the center of this circle. And I think there's space here, so I think I'll do one here. That's a little narrow for me, so again, I'm going to make it wider. Erase everything that would be underneath. And I'll do one more right here. Now, generally in the center of the bow, you're going to have one last loop. And I just make that with two curved lines that are parallel to each other. It makes it look like a little rainbow or a bridge in the center. Then you can go back and erase all of the extra parts here that you don't need, and then you'll have a finished bow. So that's how I approach drawing the bow. Again, starting with a bigger shape of the circle, starting with triangles and then using curved lines to turn them into cone shapes, and then layering them on top of one another.